Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with designer-publisher AJ Porfirio from Van Ryder Games, and we're going to be talking about Hostage Negotiator, game for one player.
That's right.
Okay. You can give an overview here. I mean, you already got a sense of what the game's about from the title.
Yeah, so the theme should be pretty self-explanatory. You're playing a hostage negotiator, having some sort of, forgot our abductor, some sort of conversation with a person who has taken hostages, and they have some sort of demand. So they have a major demand and escape demand. Okay. It can vary depending what abductor you're playing against. Okay. And also there's variable demands, so you don't always know what they want. Okay. So through card play, you try to figure that out. So the way the game works is you'll have your starting hand of cards, and the first phase of the game is the conversation phase. So let's say you want to try to calm, you say, hey, keep cool, let's not do anything rash. You're going to try to resolve. Thank you. You're going to resolve the card by rolling dice based on what his current threat level is. Okay.
So how agitated he is.
Exactly. So he starts on a 4 threat level, so you get to roll 2 dice. So you'd roll them, and if you have bad rolls like me, you're going to fail, and you will do whatever is in the fail line. So we would lose 1 conversation point. We can continue the conversation and do another card. So this one is, what are your demands? So let's try to figure out what he wants. So we'd roll 2 again. Hey, look at that, 2 successes. So 5s and 6s are successes. And we would get to reveal a demand and get 2 conversation points. So we move that up 2, and we can pick whichever one we want. Let's find out what he wants. So he has a major demand of, he wants his compadres released. He has fugitives that in the backstory you find out his hideout got raided. They took all his guys. He wants them to let him go. So this stays up here, and you can concede this demand during the game by spending conversation points, but you're going to have some kind of penalty for doing so. Obviously, we don't want to give in to their demands. Okay, so play continues like that. If you roll, or if you get a result with this red X, that means he hangs up on you and the conversation ends. Okay? Or you can just decide, I'm going to go ahead and end the conversation myself, because there's a hand management element to it. So you don't always just want to play like all your cards all at once. For example, one reason you might want to hold cards, if you roll a 4 when you're resolving a card, you can play 2 cards from your hand face down to convert that 4 to a success. Okay. So if you have less than 2 cards, you're not going to be able to do that.
Right.
You can also play cards face down for 1 conversation point at any time.
Okay.
All right. So
how do we get more? Yeah.
So we went through the conversation phase. After that, we have our conversation points to spend. Let's say we got 4. We can buy a 4-point card. This is going to be similar to deck building for folks familiar with that. Or we can buy 2 2s. So let's say we just buy that and we buy that. It goes into our hand. Anything you played this turn does not go back into the available area until after you've spent and bought. Okay. So we bought, we reset, and then we put these back. The 0 costs are always going to be free, but you can't take them the turn you played them, obviously. And then that's it for the spin phase, which is the second phase, and then we have the terror phase. So we're going to resolve a terror card. And this is what's happening in between your conversations with the abductor. Something's happening. So the situation is worsening. His threat level is going to go up 1. And we have a secondary effect. If there's any unrevealed demands, it will go up another 1. And so we have 1 unrevealed demand, so it's going to go up to 6. So now we're getting very close to really having him pissed off. If he's on the K and the threat would increase, he's going to start killing hostages.
Okay.
Vice versa, if you calm him all the way down and you calm him down more, he'll start letting hostages out. Okay. So that's one way to get hostages out. You need to save at least half the hostages. The hostage pool has to be empty, so you can't just leave people in there.
Right.
So once that happens, let's say 2 got killed, you save 5. The last thing you need to do to win is you have to either capture or kill the Abductor.
Okay.
So you can do that. You can eliminate the Abductor with some of the higher cost conversation cards, or you can capture him by, if there's no hostages left and you would save another hostage, he surrenders and you capture him.
Okay.
So that's Hostage Negotiator in a very quick nutshell.
All right. How many different hostage takers?
So there are 3 different Abductors. Arcane, he's sort of your more kind of traditional Abductor. There is Edward Quinn, who's very much inspired by John Q, if you've seen that movie or heard of that movie. And then Donna Scarborough is like, she's a college professor. She got passed over for tenure, and she's decided, I'm taking students hostages till you give me what I want.
All right.
Additionally, there are more Abductor packs coming. So each Abductor pack will come with a new Abductor and 16 cards in total.
Okay.
And it will introduce new mechanics, vary the game, and add some really cool things.
Okay. So we're using the conversation points solely for buying cards or possibly satisfying demands.
Yeah, for buying cards and conceding demands. That's correct.
Okay. All right. What happens if you hit rock bottom?
On conversation points?
Yeah.
Well, it resets after each phase. So if you start to go negative, you're just not going to be able to spend any.
Okay.
But you can
so
always
got to struggle
you can
along
always
with
buy the free cards.
Okay.
So you'll always have some kind of cards coming back into your hand. You're never going to be. You could be empty for one turn, in which case you'll just go straight to the terror phase. But you're always generally going to have some cards to do things with.
All right. Thanks very much for the overview.
Thank you.